All right, I'll talk briefly where we are starting out here. Halverson's Bar is where we're headed to. And we're right at the edge of a facility out here called Celebration Park. And it's a park dedicated to petroglyphs, to Native American petroglyphs throughout here. And this is Halverson Bar we're going to go on to, and there's some old homes out here. The remains of stone houses. Let's just read up on this guy here. Doc Hysom. Halverson Bar was occupied for 4 decades by William C. Doc Hysom, who claimed to be 3/4 African American and 1/4 Native American. In addition to trapping, tanning hides and mining, Doc made stone tools, photographed, and made leather gloves as the Snake River flowed past his stone cabin. I drink coffee once a day. My eyesight is good, and I never drink whiskey. I do not take a daily paper to bias my judgment, have no politics, and am glad to answer any questions you may have. Do you know what he's doing right there? Fasting is to the world automatically. I do not take a daily paper to bias my judgment. Today, people turn on media and they get their judgment biased continuously. They learn about the world through media, which is biased. Doc played music on homemade instruments and shared tales with those who visited. Every day through the summer, there's crowds of people who come to see me. I don't know why. William C. Doc Hysom died in 1944 at 94 years old. All right, let's go take a look at what we find. So from this end of the river, we're going to run into the same sort of things. Stone homes falling apart. Still telling a story, but no one's sure what the story is. There's about 5 or 6 of these places located throughout here. And though Doc Hysom was known to live out here, nobody remembers anymore which one he lived in. Oh, look, we've got some that can kind of date the area. Maybe it could be more recent times. Looks like our dugout. It seems awful close, but maybe they want it close. What's down here? Coyotes and other things. Stuff, if it was rummaging in your stuff, you might want to know real quick. And it might even be part of your food source. Yeah. You got mammals coming after your food. You might come and eat those mammals. But then you look around, and there's evidence of even more. And you realize, oh wow, somebody's got something else going on here. This is like a Z. Anyway, there's a natural pile of debris in here to use. Looks like the flood did a good job depositing this. Yeah, keep riding along, and there's more. This one, somebody did it up nice. They filled it all in with dirt. It's fairly square. Over the years, it's all getting rinsed out. One doorway. What a life. You'd wake up every day to this. It's more enameled metal. This looks like a dugout, doesn't it? Sure enough. There was something more in here. It's crumbling in. It's aluminum trim on a piece of metal, steel. It's probably from a trailer or a vehicle or something. An old stovepipe material, sheet metal. More recent beer cans, of course. Well, not much left of it, but evidence of life here. Anyway. So from there, you can see the rocks, the terrain, everything here lends itself to, to being built upon. If we continue our walk along here, let's see what we run into. The river's right there. Boy, it looks like there's places where stuff is stacked, but it's hard to say. It's debris. It's not very distinguished if it is. We'll keep looking. There'll be more. There we are. This is the remains of a dugout. Take advantage of the natural low spot. Well, I don't know. It's poorly done if that was, but there's something back here. Yeah. This may have been the fireplace. Scrap metal in here, old rusty tin, some galvanized stuff. No, I don't see anything there. All right, let's continue up the trail. There'll be more to see, but these are fun to find. I don't see anything there. Well, this looks like one that actually is a pretty big natural hole. There's some big rocks in it though, I don't know. Someone may have used it, but I don't think they made it. They might have thrown a few rocks up around the edges, but not what I'd call a man-made structure. These always look like walls up there though, don't they? It's kind of weird to have a corridor through here. Maybe, I don't know. And fun stuff. After a while, because you know there's buildings out here, pretty soon every shape starts looking like something. You got to be careful you don't let yourself get fooled. I got a wild imagination. That's a man-made pile. A circle. I found the drone's not too helpful out here. It doesn't pick out the shapes very well. Well, the shapes are pretty organic looking. They're not very, they don't quite look like houses. Here's another one right here. All right, so I am standing on one collapsed wall here. Let me get out of it. This is a big place. Okay, there's a wall, doorway that's collapsed in. Complete back wall. Then there was a doorway through there into another room in the back. I think I'm gonna step to the outside. Knocking rocks over inside. They're already coming down. I don't mind walking in them, but I don't want to modify them. Oh, Rock Chuck lives around here. Yeah, so there's the back room, and it almost looks like, well, I don't know. It looks like there's a corridor through there. Anyway, yeah, there's definitely another home here. There's another there. Hey, Willow, come on. She's not as interested in the rocks as we are. It's a slow walk for her at this point. Yeah, look at this. Well, things like this almost look like a square. Yeah, there's a point where pareidoia sets in. You start seeing things. You got to be careful. At the same time, there could be subtle remains that are kind of hard to detect. I don't know. That'd be a cool rock in the yard, huh? Nice garden rock. Boy, this really looks like a wall. Poorly done. There's clay in there. So I'm sure people lived in here for a long time and moved rocks around, stacked things, built what they needed to. Probably had little penned-in structures out of stone for any small amount of livestock they might have. There'd be coyotes out here. I wonder what that is. It could be one of the little animal pens I was talking about. Maybe they keep a goat in there so it doesn't get away at night. Has some windows. The walls are high enough to show those. And the doorway's in good shape. Gotta be careful I don't let you get down in the burrs there, Willow. All right. This would be the prehistoric suburbs. All right, look at this. this a wall? There's a corridor. So what would this be? I've looked at it before and thought, pens, animal pens. They would use the kind of the natural cracks in the surface, as it were, on the ground, and then just pile up rocks along the edges, and this would create little like fields without having to put up a lot of fence. If you had a small amount of livestock, you could keep it in here. You'd let it graze, but at night you'd want to keep it away from predators. I can't think of what else these would be for. That's a lot of work down here for people that were living pretty primitively. What are they doing? They're surviving. They would need food. They get water, some fish from the river, obviously. But this would allow you to have milk. And yeah. I was going to say cheese, but I'm not so sure they were making cheese out here. Probably not. No, I don't think so. They milked and drank. They consumed it as they went. Here's another. The corridor corral? I don't know. Oh, this went on longer. Check it out. My dog will follow me. I got to keep her out of the nasty stuff. Yeah, check it out. So here's the upper end. I don't see that it was closed. Maybe they had kind of a gate or something. Then yeah, that would have been filled in. I see it's collapsed. But all this is still intact. Yeah, you can see what they were doing. It's okay, girl, go. It's okay, good. Yeah, that's the way. Yep, good. Here, let me show you. She's getting older. Me too. Aren't we all? Well, fun stuff. Look at that. So that's two. I think we'll find more. There's a rock ring right here, but that's probably put in by people in more recent times. Let's see. Doesn't look as established, huh? Maybe not. This one might not have been made into one. It's kind of naturally there on one side. but it's easy access in and out, so I don't know. It's hard to say. I don't see a wall built along here. It could be, but not. They're just thrown in, not stacked well. Yeah, I wouldn't call that a corridor, a corral. Well, I don't think that was dug by hand. Probably flood deposit more than likely. That looks like a mound there, doesn't it? That's the way the water would deposit it. The flood is it's coming downstream this way. In fact, that entire raised area right there with all those rocks on top, all of that is gravel bar. So all this was under flood 15,000 years ago, the Bonneville flood. Anything that's in here now is newer than 15,000 years. Horse riders been in. It's nice back here. Bicycle, walk, or horseback ride only. What you find in there, Willow? Pretty crude. That one might be a dugout. That would mean there'd be a house nearby. I don't see one, no. There's a bunch of crows up ahead. All right, about a week ago I filmed a video coming down from the Snake River, the Swan Falls Dam, and walked down and came down to some ruins along the way. And this is as far as I came down to. So we've now come from the Celebration Park side, from around the corner down there and up this way. And we've got the stone home here, this one right up here, the long, narrow one that also looks like it could be like a pen, an animal pen, the shape of it. Except this one's all handmade. That long, narrow one. Anyway, that wraps it up. All of that up there, you see those big round rocks? All of that is gravel deposit. This is Halverson Bar, a gravel bar left from the Bonneville flood 15,000 years ago. In fact, you know what? The GoPro's not going to show what those rocks look like from a distance like that. I figured I'd just walk up here. This is difficult to imagine. That these rocks are round like this because they were stripped off the canyon wall miles and miles upstream and were rolled along, ground up into these round gravel shapes. And as the flood subsided, right here in low pressure areas, you can see there's a couple of pillars that were not taken out. They were left standing, so that like this right here behind it, it just gets filled in with this long bar. This is Halverson gravel bar. Yeah, look at this rock. It was rolled here. This is bigger than my car. I mean, you know, it's tons. I don't even know. But it's hard to fathom the hydraulics in the water that would cause this to become gravel. That's a big flood. Big flood. You can see it continue to tapers out. Anyway, well, that's it. I wanted to show you the gravel, the gravel bar. I should do a video just on the flood. All right, as we continue to walk back, we continue to find, you know, there must be about 12 of these out here. 10 or 12 of these remains of, people don't know who lived where. There's just really no record of them. Other than that Doc Hysom lived here. Nobody knows which one he lived in. Or if it's any of these ones that we see. It could be something else hidden away. All right, well, I'll go ahead and wrap this up. Hope you enjoyed the exploring, the little rock corridors and things like that. Those are pretty interesting. Okay, see you in the next video.